What's up, guys? Welcome back. Good win against the Angels, and really nice win against the Orioles. That little walk-off home run by Randall Grichuk. And you might notice the score as a walk-off home run. In case you guys didn't see the video, it was a grand slam. So there were bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs. Critical situation came up upon simulating. And of course, we needed to just take charge and get in that game because every win counts. Every win matters at this point. And he took it Oppo Taco. So yeah, great win. Also really good win against the Angels. Dan Norris pitched really well. Only gave up 2 earned. So that was nice. You guys have probably already seen that video, given it's been out for a couple days. 3 earned, but 6 innings, 4 Ks, not bad. Vernon Geary came in, gave us 2 innings, so that was pretty solid. We ended up simulating the next 2 weeks because we do want to speed up the series as a rebuild and how far we've taken the rebuild with older players, younger players mixed in. And trying to see the fruits of our labor here. We definitely need to speed this up, and there will be a lot more simulation going on versus finding a series, play it, find the next series, play it, so we'll just we'll keep running it like this now. We'll try to speed up the series going forward so we can get to the first year player draft, which is June 1st, and then all-star game, see if anybody guys made it there. And then the push for the playoffs, and then hopefully the playoffs, but there will be a lot of off-season videos to take in. So this game's kind of important to us, this series. Take a look at the standings here. 24-27 Tigers, 25-26 Royals. The Royals are nowhere near the team, the World Series teams, the back-to-back World Series appearance teams that they used to be. So we need to take advantage of that. I wish they had the league like here rather than the team page. Let's go to the standings there so you guys can take a look. If we end up sweeping them, we could get right back into at least 3rd place, depending on what the Twins do. So we know that the Indians are not going to lose 3 straight games, but it could happen. It could easily happen. So we definitely, that's a big series for us. But we got to go up against Eric Hosmer. Where was he? 393? No, not Siri. Siri pops in for some reason every time I talk. It's weird. I hate it. Yeah. So let's see. Did Doug Fister did come back. Yep. Fister came back. We moved Geary back to the bullpen. And, he's rightfully claimed that 5th starter role. Cozart pitched extremely well for us against that White Sox game. And then take a look at Fister's whip. May not have a whole lot of strikeouts, and his ERA is kind of high, but he's brought that down over the last couple games. So we do like that part of Fister's game going forward. So hopefully he's kind of found it, and then that'll help us. But take a look. Kansas City's got Jake Odorizzi. They ended up trading with the Tampa Bay Rays to nab him. I'm not sure what they gave up. Let's see. Acquired Jake Odorizzi for Jorge Soler. So it's a good trade for both teams. Jorge Soler didn't really get it going with the Cubs as well as the Royals. I know the Royals traded for him, so he hasn't gotten it going. And now that he's with the Rays, they could definitely use that kind of edge. You guys will notice this trade here. We traded Michael McHenry back to the Rockies for a guy named Rufus Seymour, starting pitcher. So I will show you him right here. We kind of like this guy. Where is he? Rufus Seymour, 22 overall, 22 age, 59 overall. McHenry was like a 60 something, 68, but he's 22 years old. B potential. Take a look at the stats, man. 73 velocity, an 81 stamina. So he can go. He can go the distance a lot. His control is pretty high compared to other Tigers. Take a look at Vernon Geary's control. His velocity is 57 compared to 71. His stamina is not as high. His walks per 9 is not as high. De Leon, he's probably a better pitcher than De Leon at this point. So, pretty good addition. We definitely like our young pitching staff. Take a look at the average age. If I added all these guys up to get an average age for the pitching, it's probably around 23 years old, which is really, really good, really solid. So we could end up using these guys as trade bait if we ever needed to, and we could also kind of hold those close to our vest because we do have young pitching, and that's really a good thing to have. Before we get into the gameplay, let's go into some scouting. You guys will notice that from the last time we had a video, I added some prospects to the board. Let's take a look at second baseman here. I'll try to make this quick, but Chet Guzman, we only had a couple more weeks left until the first year player draft, so we wanted to at least get in the yellow, which we did, and we're gonna get them off the board and try to get some more guys into the yellow. That way we kind of have a better idea of what they can do, what they can offer. So Rafael Cedeno's not bad, pretty good player. Definitely going to be a player that gets picked pretty high off the board. Same here with Chet Guzman. Potential. We're just trying to give ourselves more options with that first and second pick. So take a look at third base. We didn't do a whole lot other than Vaccaro, Simpson, and Coleman. So we do like some of those guys, but let's get them off the board. And then you can get them off the board. Okay, let's go. Let's get in another guy. We like Nakajima. I mean, look at that power. 70 potential, 80 potential, arm strength's good, fielding's good, so he's a good player. He's a very good player. So let's get Nakajima on that board. And then with Francisco, we'll get a second base on with him. Let's go with Norman Perez. I like Norman Perez. Check out this reaction time. He's a good fielder, you know. We like that. So let's get over there to Francisco. And then we're actually going to take this guy off because there's no more point in keeping that on since we need to utilize him. Let's go with a pitcher. No, we need a position player. All right, guys, let's get to some shortstops, actually. We were talking about second baseman, but let's actually go to shortstop. There's this guy. We want to give a shout out here to Death Prison. He's a subscriber. It's kind of a scary name, but, you know, hey, we deal with it. Andres Perez, 19 years old, 60 overall, 60 potential. Kind of sneaky, right? Take a look at his numbers there. So it's not bad. 55. Average, he's going to be an average hitter. Arm strength is okay. Fielding's pretty good. Speed is really good. Actually, he's fast. So Andres Perez, we want you to get scouted. And I'm sorry, Death Prison, for not getting him in earlier. I had already made the other videos, and then when I posted it, I couldn't go back in time to replay these games that I've already recorded, obviously. So Andres Perez kind of got left behind a little bit. So, but we will scout him for the next 3 days and try to get a better idea of what he can do. And let's actually scout a pitcher with this guy. Let's go with Ricky Fontenot, just because I like the name. But he's going to be a pretty solid guy too. So, all right, that's all I got, guys. Let's get into this gameplay. All right, guys, let's get right into this game. We got the 24-27 Detroit Tigers against the 25-26 Kansas City Royals. We are at Kauffman Stadium in the home of the KC Royals, and we got a little bit of rain going on. Definitely going to play a factor in this game. We got Joe Ross, our best starter, against their best hitter, Salvador Perez. Take a look at Jake Odorizzi. That's going to be his counterpart in this game. 5.48 ERA. So we're definitely looking to tee off. Here's the Tigers lineup. We got Puig at 338. Valbuena's been picking it up. Bregman's been picking it up. Actually dropped his batting average over the course of the simulation from 272 to 259. So after a Zach Cozart ground out, we got Josh Rutledge up. Going to hit this high and outside fastball, and it's just going to loop in. We were really surprised that Lorenzo Cain could not make that play. He always makes that play, but we will take it nonetheless. Take a look at Puig there. He's 4th in the American League with a 338 batting average. Jose Iglesias actually at 360. I don't think we thought he was going to do that. Maybe it's the change of scenery. Maybe it's the fact that AstroTurf, harder hit ground balls. Not sure what's going on, but regardless. Puig not going to show his 4th AL standing there with the hitting because he thought it was a gap shot, and Rutledge makes a mistake there by going a little more than halfway. Did not freeze on the line drive. Did not go halfway on a fly ball, and ends up getting caught. So, next inning, Joe Ross, sparkling numbers there across the board. 51 strikeouts to 7 walks. That's crazy good. Valbuena, this play gets kind of mucked up here because he thought it was a ground ball, so he threw to second, tried to get the double play, but it was actually a line out. And Cain, with his speed, was almost to second base, and he was able to run all the way back to first and get safe. But it's going to be no harm, no foul, as Valbuena makes up for it on the Brandon Moss ground out. Next inning, Randall Grichuk going to hit that ball back right up the middle. Odorizzi kind of freaked out a little bit. I mean, he should be used to it by now with those terrible numbers that we saw earlier. Alex Bregman, May, 311 batting average. The guy's been absolutely on fire. Hopefully he can keep it up in this at-bat, but that big looping curveball just can't lay off. And Odorizzi gets the strikeout. Next half inning, Joe Ross, little bunt single. Yes, Moustakas is going to beat that out. Unbelievably so. Alex Gordon up now, but it's not going to matter because Rutledge and Cozart team up and get the nice double play ball. So, Gordon can't believe it. It's like, what do I got to do to get my batting average up? I don't know the answer. But Profar does because he's still going to keep that hot streak going. Ball went right past Brandon Moss. If that were Eric Hosmer, I'm pretty sure he would have made that play. But they keep trying to throw him high and in for whatever reason. And he just keeps turning on it. It's like when are these pitchers going to learn? Ted Williams said that pitchers are dumb. So you can look that quote up because they do the same thing over and over and over again. Cozart now up, going to get a little looper, and Profar got a kind of a late jump there because Escobar earlier in this game made a nice leaping grab on a line drive, pretty similar to what Cozart had just hit. Luckily, he's got enough speed to make up for it. Look at that play over there by Odorizzi, the spinning throw using his momentum to go to third, and then Moustakas with the nice play on the other end to Brandon Moss to complete the double play out of the jam. Next up, Chester Cuthbert's going to strike out against Ross. We're in the bottom of the third right now, 2 strikes down. ended up going to get a base hit here down the line. Grichuk runs into the wall and cannot. I mean, that probably would have been a great throw, and he probably would have gunned Merrifield out right there, but was not meant to be. Momentum couldn't stop. Wet field, rain, couldn't do it. But no matter there because Orlando's going to strike out. Now we've got a nice situation here where a fly ball doesn't hurt. Strikeout obviously is not going to hurt, and a ground ball will not hurt either. So 2 outs is a great place to be. Joe Ross going to try to make quick work of Alcides Escobar because we know he's a contact hitter, and he's just kind of pesky. He's kind of pesky, and he's a little annoying, little scrappy type hitter. So we're definitely looking for the K, and that's what we're going to get. Fastball, low, center cut. See ya. Yasiel Puig up now. And he hit a nice ground ball right up to Escobar, but Escobar, who's normally a great fielder, does not make a great throw there. Pulls Brandon Moss off the bag. We're not sure if that was the rain or if he didn't have a good grip on the ball when he threw it, but later on in this inning you will see a similar situation like that. But we got a good situation here. Remember the last time Grichuk was up to bat, he hit that single up the middle? Well, he's going to go center field, 2-run bomb. Single wasn't going to do it anymore. The pitch was in the same location, but he was able to just get under it just a touch more and get that 2-run shot. So that's really, really helpful. 10th home run on the season. 1 behind Michael Taylor. Those are kind of our 2 favorite guys coming into the season. So it's good to see that they're kind of picking it up here in May. He pretty much had to golf that ball out. That's really, really hard to do, especially when a guy's throwing 95 like Jake Odorizzi. So Valbuena's now up now. Check that out. Merrifield can't make the play in the shift, and the ball rolls all the way to the wall in the gap between center and right field. Who does that? Only Luis Valbuena, that's who, hits it right into the shift, dead into the shift, and he gets a double. Who does that? Alex Bregman. Take a look at Moustakas. Does the same thing. Pulls Moss off the bag. So either it's just the left side of the infield there that's wet or something, but whatever's going on, there's a lot of errors going on for KC. Michael Taylor ends up striking out. We're leaving it up to Profar, who's been hot. Well, it was a good pitch by Odorizzi. He knew that he'd been hot on the inside. Fastballs, give him a curveball on the inside. He's going to swing. Can't lay off. So that's that. Lorenzo Cain hits a nice little shot down the line there. Grichuk does not play it well. It's going to roll all the way into that corner and keep rolling, kind of like a pinball. And he gets in there with a double. Brandon Moss is ending up going to strike out. So that's a big pitch by Joe Ross there. Moustakas now up. We still got 1 out, so a fly ball will get that run in. Big situation there. He actually ended up stealing third on us before this play here. Moustakas drives him in. Valbuena, for whatever reason, could not make the play. He was pretty close to that ball. We don't expect him to make every play, but we think that one should have been made. Perez going to strike out against Joe Ross. So it's not like Ross is pitching terribly, just 1 run allowed. So we definitely got to get these bats going. Alex Gordon, it's a big situation here. Got to get this batter out. We can't let the Royals keep being pesky. Two strikes now. Voila. See ya. 92 mile an hour fastball. Joe Ross was throwing 95 in spring training, so we don't know what's going on there. Let's go to the next inning since the Tigers offense didn't do jack. Taylor can just not get to the ball. Cuthbert in with a double. He roped this thing. We were surprised that Taylor, he was right there. I don't know what exactly happened, but maybe he should have dove to try to make a play, but just didn't happen. They're going to put the bunt on. Bregman makes a good play over to first base. We were hoping that Cozart would have had the back end, and we were going to just try to flip that over to third and then get that runner out. Did not want a runner on third base with less than 2 outs, but it's not going to matter because Paulo Orlando is going to strike out. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 6th, and Escobar is going to fly out. Pop out, excuse me. They're 2 separate things. Let's go to the next inning here. We got Luis Valbuena trying to get something started here against Jake Odorizzi, still on the mound. 79 pitches in the 6th and 7th, I believe, yeah. Well, take a look at this. Alex Gordon's going to come from no man's land. Look at this stat track. He was he was playing in the shift and he went all the way to the line. 100% route efficiency. Great defensive play. Well, because you know what? He's Alex Gordon, and that's exactly what he does. Plays great defense. He's going to play good defense here as well. James McCann gets a hold of that ball. He does that often, though. Hits that lazy fly ball out to left field. Same spot, though. Same spot, but this time Grichuk makes a good play. Throws to second. It's a better throw. It's a better play, but it's just not hard enough of a throw to get Lorenzo Cain. So it's been this Lorenzo Cain, Brandon Moss show for the Royals in this game. Big bat here. He ends up stealing third again. That's his third stolen base of the game. Second time stealing third base. So Lorenzo Cain having a great performance in this game. Brandon Moss going to hit a nice little double. It's going to go off the wall. Grichuk makes the nice throw back in, but it's not going to be in time. So Brandon Moss comes through, and this game is now going to be tied. Ross tried to sneak a slider, a backdoor slider. That's just going to come from a ball to the right-hand hitter box to the outside part of the plate, but it just got too much of the middle. Grichuk's going to make a nice throw here into third base. So it's the Royals. They make you play smart baseball, strategic baseball, and you have to play perfectly in order to beat these guys. They're just a sound overall team. Even though they're not playing too hot right now, the way they play is still the same. So needed more weapons, though, for sure. Perez is going to ground out here to Cozart. Now we get Alex Gordon. Runner still in scoring position. Moss is still there. Big situation, but Alex Gordon's going to come through. Taylor misplays the ball out in center field. He had a beat on it. He had a beat on that ground ball. But, again, the weather, it must have just hit his glove and just kind of snagged just a little bit. Too wet to handle, not sure. Royals end up taking the lead. Check this play out by Cozart. That's inning saving right there. We could have had a lot more damage on Joe Ross had he not made that play. That's a great play up the middle. So thank you, Zach Cozart, for keeping us in this ball game. Speaking of Cozart, going to fist that ball out to right field, shallow right field for a little single there. So he's kind of keeping us alive in this game. Check that out. It's just a little flip. He's going to end up knocking Odorizzi out of this game. Ned Yost comes out and says, "Good job, kid, good job. You knocked your ERA down a lot. Thank you. I love your mom." No, just kidding. Matt Strom's going to come on in. Lefty. interesting choice here. He's only been in one game. They must have called him up from AAA maybe, and he's going to be in one game. This will be his second game, and he's going to face the right-handed hitter, Josh Rutledge, who ends up flying out to Kane. So nice pitching there by Matt Strom. Joe Ross still going strong. Going to get that fly out. So we're still trying to get these outs. We're still trying to not to get that bullpen into the game until at least the 8th inning. Michael Taylor going to come on in, make a nice play there using his speed. We're going to try to get that offense going, though. Grichuk hit a home run earlier in the game. Going to strike out on the change. I tell you what, Matt Strom's a good reliever. But only going to face those two guys. And Valbuena is going to now face Joaquin Soria. Valbuena pops out, flies out, excuse me. Again, another difference. To Alex Gordon. Alex Gordon loves getting Valbuena out. That's 2 times now that he put a ball over into left field to the opposite side of the field for an out. Bruce Rondon now up against the Tiger killer Brandon Moss in this game. Jeez. But ends up going to be blowing that fastball right by him. That big fastball, 95. Sit down, buddy boy. Mike Moustakas, another left-handed guy against the righty. We're just going to be pumping fastballs right by him. I wanted you guys to see this, though, because Rondon just took it to these guys. He's actually kind of impressed. We might want to be using him a little bit more than we have. I mean, 3 straight fastballs. Like, it just didn't matter. Like, they couldn't do anything about it. So he definitely shut the door on any kind of offensive output that the Royals were going to try. But check this out. Rain's getting a little harder. Kelvin Herrera, dynamic, electric, you name it. Herrera is a boss closer. Michael Taylor is our last hope to try to get on base, get something going, or come up in the dramatic, like he always does, come through in the clutch. But he's going to fly out. Going to fly out to right field. Orlando makes the play, and the Royals are going to win this game. So, guys, hard fought game by the Tigers, but I think the weather conditions just got to them a little bit. Odorizzi pitched pretty good. It was more of that slow looping curve that killed us. Guys, even though we lost, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.